So if you are a Sagittarius or a Leo, this is going to be for you. Or if you have Sagittarius or Leo Venus, this is going to be for you. The same goes for if you have Sagittarius or Leo, at the moon, because when we're talking about dating, what we're talking about is Venus and moon. A lot of times we get so focused on sun sign that we forget, that there are other placements that are way more impactful when we are talking about love. And love, as you know, is about emotions. So when we're talking about Sagittarius dating any other zodiac sign, we are talking about energetically, how do those two go together emotionally, okay? So let's see. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes just to get to 12:15, and then I will go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do in getting started is actually read this chapter from the book called Love Signs by Linda Goodman. Linda Goodman is one of my favorite astrologists who have written books. She's kind of old school, no longer alive, of course, but I think her writings really resonate with me. When I first started taking an interest in astrology back when I was a teenager, she was a writer whose books I really enjoyed, and here we are years later, and I still very much so enjoy her writing. So I'm going to start off by talking about, by reading an excerpt from her book about these two. And then after that, we'll talk about these two signs dating in general. Thanks to you guys that are liking the screen. If you wouldn't mind, liking the live, if you wouldn't mind tapping on the screen to like the live, to wake it up, so other people know that I'm here. I know I started a little bit later because I was finishing up a reading with a client, but I want to make sure that other people know that we're here and they can join us. So if you wouldn't mind tapping on the screen, I would appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind sharing the live with other people, your friends, your family that are into astrology so they can come listen to this as well, I would really, really appreciate it. Hi, Sidra Tyndale 17. Thank you for joining. All right, so let me then go ahead and get started by reading from this book, and we'll talk about it more freely afterwards. So, the Leo Sagittarius relationship. When playing Follow My Leader is a title. Leo is a fixed sign. Sagittarius is a mutable sign. Since neither of them was born under cardinal sign of leadership, you'd think they'll sooner or later realize that there can never be a permanent winner between them in the competitive game of which one shall lead, which one shall follow, and give it up as a tiresome conflict that takes a lot of time they could otherwise spend doing a number of jolly things side by side, cooperatively. Okay? You think so, but although there are lots of lions, lionesses, and archers who do take such a sensible attitude towards their associations, there are a godly number of others who insist on concentrating on all their flaming energies, both of fire signs, towards determining who shall take or not take orders from whom. Still, even when the mutual challenges tossed back and forth, tend to be friendly and good-natured, because Leo and Sag are influenced by the 5-9 sun sign pattern of natural empathy and easily attainable harmony, not always, but most of the time, so that the competitive sparks between them are more likely to result in the refreshing sort of exhilaration than in envious resentment. If they enjoy competing so much, why not allow them to have fun? We might as well grant them our own and astrology's permission, because these two will do just exactly as they please in the long run, anyways. Since both independent and prefer to learn through the experience of their own mistakes than to be counseled by well-meaning people. While these two masculine signs entangle their temperaments, whether by choice in a friendship or love relationship, or by destiny's design as relatives within the family circle of business associates, forced into professional proximity, outsiders who stand by and watch have nearly as much fun as the two participants themselves. Leo was born to command, to lecture, to guide, and to counsel, born free. Sagittarius was born to rebel against being demanded, refuses to be lectured, guided, or counsels, and was also born free. Clearly, as smooth as their association may be most of the time, there will be some moments when something has to give, and it won't be Leo, and it won't be Sagittarius. The centaur and the big cat might be said to represent the ultimate in eternal standoff. Should their luminaries be in favorable aspects between their natal charts, the blending of their super bright auras often create an almost invisible rainbow around these two, coloring their clashes with the soft shades of forgiveness and fresh new beginnings. Sagittarius is ruled by and stamped with Jupiter's expensive generosity and idealism. Leo is ruled by and stamped with the benevolent warmth of the sun itself. So there's plenty of contagious enthusiasm and genuine affection. They can fortunately exchange it if they choose with the power to jet propel them forward. I'm sorry, with the power to jet propel them forward any seemingly impossible goals or ambitions they seek as individuals or as a team. Aside from the heated quarrels incited by their equally fiery tempers, Leo and Sag can bring each other and to the world much happiness. There's a lot of vibrant activity and energy flowing when these two come together. Along with a considerable amount of goodwill. The name of the most voracious dragon of dispute that threatens the tranquility of this sympathetic 5-9 combination will be spelled in bright red flaming letters. Guess what it is? Pride, in all capital letters. P-R-I-D, pride. The typical Sagittarius is ordinarily blissful, unaware of the meaning of the word. Archers may be feisty and spunky. They may refuse to be pushed around by bullies, but the truth is that they aren't really hung up on the false pride. They'll cheerfully laugh at jokes on themselves and are often the very ones who tell them. The Sagittarius does not mind exposing their flaws. Thanks to Jupiter's philosophical outlook, Sagittarians see no reason to feel guilty or embarrassed just because they happen to possess a few shortcomings. After all, doesn't everybody? No, everyone does not, apparently. Leo possesses none whatsoever. Just ask them about it. No shortcomings, no flaws. The lions and lionesses can do no wrong. Everything they say or do is right, always, because royalty is infallible, protected from error. Leo's judgment is at all times sound, sensible, and wise, also practical and quite naturally superior to all other judgments. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Doesn't everyone know that? Everyone but Sagittarius, apparently. The archer will delight in punching Leo's plump velvet pillow of pride with a powerful verbal right hook, time and time again. The more Leo's pride gets punctured, the louder the lion or lioness will roar. As always, when fire gets punctured, as always, when fire fans fire, the expensive Jupiter temper will then be ignited by Leo's arrogant roaring, and things then will get explosive. The possibilities of a harmonious compatibility between Leo and Sagittarius is so potentially rich and rewarding that it's shame for the archers to spoil it by failing to realize the need to constantly and carefully consider that too many thorns and thrust into the lion's paws can cause Leo to stalk away permanently in wounded and outraged indignation. I'm going to stop here to process some of this before we go further. Leo in astrology is a fixed sign. Leo is a positive sign. Sagittarius in astrology is a mutable sign. Sagittarius is a positive sign. When Leo and Sagittarius come together in love, what they have is a lot of positive energy. These two love positivity. They love to feel good. They love high vibes. They love good vibes. And they love really doing things to the utmost. They love being the best in whatever they do. They love being great. They love being on top of the world. That feeling of topping yourself is truly what they live for. They're not in competition with anyone else as much as they are in competition with themselves. They love being the best, and they love putting their best foot forward in everything that they do. So when these two get together, they encourage each other, they uplift each other. Hi, Gemini Nice 37. Hello, thanks for joining. Finally caught a live, and a very intriguing live at that. Thanks for joining, Elle. I appreciate you being here. So Leo and Sagittarius love being the best. They love picking each other up. They love boosting each other up. They love filling each other with confidence, with good vibes, with good energy. They are all about taking over the world. These two are the ultimate power couple. It does not get more power couple than a fire sign with another fire sign. Because fire signs in general are already dominant, they're already powerful, they're already super confident, they're already bold with their energy and very boastful. So when you bring two personalities that are like that together in love, and these two personalities actually want to see each other succeed and love each other deeply, what you're creating is literally magic. It's magic that lights the sky so brightly that people cannot stop looking at them. These two are a showstopper wherever they go, because either of them by themselves is already a showstopper wherever they go. When these two come into a room, their energy takes over the room. This is the kind of couple that people like love to hate. Because you love them because they're so gregarious, they're so fun, they're so outgoing, but then if you're insecure, they make you feel small naturally. They make you feel insecure naturally just by their very existence. And the beautiful thing about them is that even though they're both powerful and fiery, because of their insistence on positive energy, their desire is to naturally be positive, naturally be optimistic, naturally see the good in every situation. So these are not woe's me people. These are not let's cry over spilled milk people. These are I'm going to pick myself up by my bootstraps. I'm going to do and go for the things that I want. I'm going to get what I deserve because I know what I deserve. I'm not going to settle for less. I'm not going to throw a pity party for myself. It doesn't mean I'm not going to feel down when things don't go well, but I'm not going to let anything stop me because only I can stop me. That is their mindset. That is their attitude. So when they're together, whenever one is going through a rough time, the other blesses them with loads of good juice, positive energy that pumps them up, and then they keep going. So when they're working together well, it's very beautiful because these two can literally change the world with all of this magnetism that they have together. And the other thing that makes this an ideal couple, which by the way, I actually fundamentally believe that the only zodiac sign that can handle Leo is a Sagittarius. I don't think an Aries ego is I don't think an Aries ego is strong enough to handle a Leo. Aries is too immature. Leo is very immature. Aries is very immature. Leo is more mature than Aries, though. So Aries is a baby. Leo is a prima donna, teen. And then Sagittarius is the 40-year-old. Okay? So when we're looking at it in terms of maturity, we're looking at spiritual maturity. Okay? There's a reason why Leo wants to be the center of attention is because they're a teenager. Do you remember being 14? Didn't you think you were the best thing since sliced bread? Do you remember being 16? Do you remember feeling yourself? When you were coming into your looks and you were developing and boys were looking at you and girls were looking at you and you started like dating people? Do you remember that energy that you got? Like the first time that you felt desirable and you felt like people wanted you? That's Leo's energy all the time. So there's a certain of emotional immaturity to Leo in the sense that they require that validation from outside in order to feel good about themselves, just like a teenager. Teenagers need other people to tell them that they're great, that they look good, that they smell good, that they're the best thing ever. This is why teenagers like to run in cliques and they like to dress alike. Teenagers like find out what their friends are wearing and they want to wear what their friends are wearing because they don't want to be the weird girl or the weird boy in the group. They want to fit in. And that's really about feeling good. They want to feel worthy. So Leo, even though they have a lot of confidence, they also have a lot of insecurities about feeling good independently without needing the claps. Remember, Leo is a sister sign to Aquarius. Aquarius knows they're great when they're in a room by themselves, Leo knows they're great when they're on this stage with a million of people clapping for them. Big difference. When Leo matures, they become Aquarius, where they no longer need people. But, Aquarius in their immature age, in their low vibrational spiritual energy, they behave like a Leo. Okay? And a Leo that is in their high vibrational energy behaves like a Leo and also like an Aquarius, meaning that they use all of this power that the world gives them because they're ruled by the sun. So they take that to actually make the world a better place, which you may have seen Madonna doing. Madonna is a Leo. Madonna was the first person that I know of who ever truly dedicated their career to speaking up about social injustice. She's been doing that for many, many, many years. Okay? That is how you mature as a Leo. So that's a side note. The other thing that works with these two energetically is that Leo is fixed and Sagittarius is mutable. That's another reason why I think Sagittarius is an ideal match for Leo, because mutable signs are equipped to deal with everybody. They're equipped to deal with fixed signs. They're equipped to deal with, cardinal signs. They don't mind being bossed around if you're a good leader, and they don't mind going with your plan if you're a good fixed leader. Mutable signs can transform into whatever it is that you need to become a good spouse, a good mate, a supportive partner. So Sagittarius is mature, but they're not so egotistical that they're not capable of being molded. Sagittarius doesn't mind transforming, into whatever is needed to meet the needs of the people that they love and that they care for. I generally like to see signs that have different dispositions together. In other words, when signs are fixed, when they're in a relationship with other fixed signs, it spells trouble. When signs are mutable in relationship with other mutables, it spells trouble. When signs are cardinals in relationship with other cardinals, it spells trouble. Because your disposition is your personality. It's the core of who you are. When you're a fixed sign, you're not necessarily a leader, but you are set in your ways. People that are set in their ways, trying to do coupledom, partnership with other people that are also set in their ways, doesn't work. Because nobody wants to move and nobody wants to be bossed around. Okay? So mutable and fixed, ideal. And I also think Sagittarius enjoys levity enough to laugh at some of Leo's peacockness, aren't I so great? Am I not so amazing? Clap your hands. Let me know who's here. Sagittarius doesn't mind cajoling some of that ego stroking that Leo needs, because Sagittarius by nature is very generous. They're very complimentary. They're very encouraging. Sagittarius naturally wants to see people happy. They want to see people win. They want to see people at their best. Sagittarius is not an insecure zodiac sign when they're at their higher vibration. They're not threatened by Leo wanting to be the boss and wanting to run the show. Sagittarius doesn't feel the need to compete with Leo's desire to be the top dog. If Leo's doing it well, Sagittarius enjoys the show and he's having a good time. Aries, on the other end, will not allow Leo to always have that seat because Aries is naturally insecure. Aries is easily threatened by other people having power. So if Leo is doing too much showing off, Aries is a type that will make jokes at the expense of Leo to humble Leo. Leo doesn't need to be humbled. Leo needs to be celebrated. Okay, Leo needs to be encouraged and celebrated, not humbled. So this is why I don't agree with Aries being an ideal partner for Leo. I prefer for Leo to be with Sagittarius out of the zodiac sign family. And then if you're a Leo and you're looking for a mate or a spouse or partner, I would say your first choice is Sagittarius. I would skip Aries. Then I would go to the air signs. I would say your second choice is a Gemini, because Gemini is going to bring you a lot of fun, a lot of humor, a lot of levity. And if your ego is stable enough, you would do well with an Aquarius. But that's iffy because you're both fixed. Libra would seem like a good choice, but I think Libra needs more adoration than Leo is willing to give. So that's going to be an issue. So Aries is not going to stroke your ego, and they're going to want to tear you down. Libra is going to be annoyed with you always trying to get attention when they want all the attention, because Libra thinks they're Leo. Okay? I need you to get that through your head. Libra thinks they're Leo. Libra wants what Leo naturally has. So when Libra is in a relationship with Leo, Libra is going to be jealous of the attention Leo gets. That's just the way that it is. because Libra gets a lot of attention too. But Libra doesn't get the kind of divine attention that Leo gets. Libra has to play the game. Libra has to maneuver situations and pretend to like people they don't like. They have to, because Libra is a cardinal sign, so they're always manipulating. All the cardinal signs are manipulators. Libra, Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer. Master manipulators, these four. So Libra has a lot of friends because Libra manipulates their way into all these people's lives. Libra does things to get on people's good side. Okay? And again, if you're a Libra, that's not a judgment. It is what it is. All of us are out here trying to survive. We all have gifts that God has bestowed upon us. We use our gifts to better our lives. Okay? So no judgment.